So this time on 818 Custom Garage, we've got the DBRC Chassis Dynamics Cardinal Chassis. Hey, so welcome back everybody. Shane with 818 Custom Garage. I can't wait to get into this build. Let's follow along. This thing is super sweet. Let's get into it, show you what it's all about. All right, so let's talk a little bit more about this awesome chassis. So if you look at it, and you've watched any of our other videos, this thing is basically a king snake from DBRC Chassis. But it's got the roof line, right? And if you look at it, the reason they call it the Cardinal Chassis is it looks like a little bird. I think it does. I think it looks like a little bird, right? It looks cool. So with it being basically the same, pretty similar to the king snake, I went ahead and, put the skid on and stuff. It does use the stock modified skid like the king snake, and if you want to go see how you go do that, go check out that video. This does not have the side sliders or any of that other stuff, right? So space is at a premium. And then so just looking at this thing, a few little nuances different from the king snake. Since you don't have the sliders, it comes with the same screws here for the skid. So I noticed these back ones, rears were a little long for it. So I am actually running a tiny little 2.5 washer underneath there, right? So looks pretty good. And just like the king snake kit, you'll need to source your own hardware for like the upper arms. So like the upper arm bolts and nuts doesn't come with that, but he gives you a bunch of like the spacers and stuff for the shocks and all that other stuff. He gives you hardware for the shocks too. Just upper arms and a few other things are not in there. Also, I noticed, to do these inserts, they come through and you can use a tiny 2.5 or whatever you want to do. That hardware is not included either. So like these are a 2.5 by 5. They stick out just a little bit. I was also playing around with, this is an M2 with a aluminum M2 nylock nut, which I thought was kind of nice too. It flanges it. Doesn't rely on threading into the printed piece. So I don't know. I haven't decided how I'm going to go yet. I was trying to keep as much stress off of these pieces so it doesn't, break them off right there, crack them. I did have to file it a little bit to get it to fit right. The pieces are super nice. I mean, his prints are very good. So I will show you, like, even on this side, you can see where I just took my file, cleaned it up there and there, and it sit down in, because I didn't want, the holes weren't lining up with the hole totally. And I'm like, yeah, you could put a screw in, it would probably work, but I think it put a lot of stress on this little point on either side. So just file them ever so slightly, and everything fit good. You will, this is a full like comp style build, so you need to be able to do some of that stuff. He gives you multiple shock mounting positions. This one for the rear has this plate, so if you want to do, electronics down low, I don't think it's going to work for me. I think I'm going to run these two over here. And then I opted to get, this is the normal electronics plate, which screws into these two holes, just like the king snake, but this is the elongated one, so it's a little bit longer. So I think I'm going to use, the plan is to use a micro python because it's small, works good. We've got our stock transmission. We've got Traxxas crawler gearing in here though, the underdrive gearing. So, and then we've got a micro Komodo and LGRP micro Komodo with Furatech. So for a TRX4M. So we're going to run that setup, I think, on here. One of the other things, so, when you go to build one of these, you got to go maybe source some of the hardware. So I get a lot of this, and the 2.5 stuff is hard to find at a physical location. A lot of places have M2 and then M3. 2.5 is kind of oddball, but that's what the TRX4M line uses. I actually like the size though. For something, I wish like the SCX24 stuff was like M2 instead of the 1.4. It's just ridiculous. But so remember that you can go source a lot of that stuff at through Amazon. So I get like kits of little screws and all that other stuff all the time. So we are going to be doing a set of Endura. These are the diamond axles, and they are the silver. We are going to modify them with some brass and all that other stuff that I have here. Actually, I actually did that off already. We've got some Endura drive shafts because I like those. They work pretty good. We are going to use our Next Racing shocks. Same shocks that we have on the King Snake build. These things work awesome. And then what else we got here? We're going, I think, I don't know yet. I think we're going to use this 3Flow 9 steering on it too, because I really like their steering setup. Let's see, what else do I have here? Oh, see, he gives you all these shock spacers, all these different little spacer kit. I love it. I think it's fantastic. A lot of the other companies don't give you that. They'll give you screws and stuff, but they don't give you shock spacing hardware. And like, these are the shock screws. It says shocks. It gives you a bag that says chassis. It's got chassis screws on it. So this is where we're going. I think we got a fun build. You know, it's pretty simple. You know, you just bolt this thing. I mean, really, you just put your links in and go from there. Now, when you buy these kits, you need to get links. Whose links are they? And Steve's going to kick my butt. These are RC Steve 710 links. These used to be blue because I had them set up for, I was going to put them on a different King Snake build. I was like, oh man, I got this Cardinal build I want to get done. But you can also get these from like Tyler Chapman. And there's another one that DBRC has been working with. And I'll get you his info too, because I think I'm going to build another one of these now. And I want to use his links too. So, because he has some nice aluminum brass setup. You know, you can go aluminum in the rear, brass up front, get a little bit more weight bias stuff too. So I want to try some different things. I really like the 4M base comp stuff. I am not a humongous Traxxas fan, right? I'm not a Traxxas fanboy. There's not really anything Traxxas left here besides the transmission and the skid. So I like building this custom stuff with their, I think it's a good platform to start from. I like the 18 scale stuff too. So the SCX24 stuff is just, you know, it's epic. It's out there. I have so much fun with it. But man, these TRX4M base kits really catching my eye lately. So let's get into it. We are going to, I think what we'll do is we'll get the transmission drive shafts. Well, actually, you know what? Let's get the axles on, and then we'll go from there. Get the axles on and transmission and all that other stuff. Kind of get some of that bolted in. You can see some of that. And I will be under driving the rear of this thing. That's what I did on the King Snake, and I really liked how that was done. So I got some Endura underdrive gears for the rear. So, all right, stay tuned. Oh man, axles are on. Let's get the center skid in. Oh man, look at that. Look how awesome that came out. It's just so much easier. So if you look, we got the axles on and we got that transmission motor in. So micro Komodo from Little Guy fits perfect. Bolted right in. We got our drive shafts in. Everything mounted up. We've got our Next Racing shocks. They are awesome. We got our Endura diamond axles. Look at those. I actually really like the design on these. I think they look pretty cool. We got our 3Flow 9 steering on there right now. We've got we've got the horizontal, you know, the flat servo mount on there right now so that we can mock everything up. Kind of get where I think I'm going to end up having the shocks. I mean, look at that. Fully compressed out. Look at that thing. Looks beautiful. So I can probably go up a little bit more in the front, a little bit more compression, but I don't think we're going to need it. I want to see where everything sits. So the plan, you know, is to get, I'm waiting on the battery on axle servo mount from DBRC that is shipped out, so we should see that soon. And it bolts right into the factory spot, and your upper arms go right in. It works just like it. It's just a, you know, spread out, and it's got servo over here and then spot for the battery over here. And I think it moves it forward just a little bit too. So, and I don't know if this drag link is going to work, or the tie rod, whatever you want to call it, it's going to work with the steering yet, or with that mount yet. So we got to see what that all looks like, but I think it will. So I already have some ideas based on some of the stuff I've seen. So drive shafts, you can see the rear fit good. The front, similar to what I had to do on the King Snake, I had to grind down the tube side, so this side, right? So right at the end, didn't have to take a ton off. At first it looked like, oh, I think we were good, but like, so if I decide to go up and compress anymore, I might need to remove just a little bit more too, and you just grind it flat, clean it up, and everything fits good. So yeah, we got tons of, I mean, you can see there's slop in there, we're good. So we did put our, these the 1mm over. Man, really happy. I mean, everything fit and finish, fantastic as usual. So next up, we've got to get start getting our electronics laid out in there. This is the electronics tray. So this, if you see, there's screw hole. Those line up in there, and we'll screw the plate down in there, and it just sits, you know, in there. I always wait on that till I've got my drive shafts fully figured out, because when you got to remove, if you need to remove the transmission and stuff, you need to remove that plate because it goes over everything. Not a big deal, but I just like to try to get all that stuff figured out first before I start laying out the electronics. I mocked it up a little bit of what I think it's going to look like. You know, because I have this, and then the radio link receiver, which I don't know where it went. Okay, I'll have to go grab that. So we'll get that all on, and we'll trim up our wiring, make it all look clean, bolt it all in, and then we can start getting the roof on, the side panels on, and we're like right there. And then it's just waiting on, I got a servo. We've got our RS100 came in, so we're good there with a, I did order this is a horn for the TRX4M, because just remember, like, the lengths are a little bit different, and they use the 2.5mm screw. So you could get away with like a SCX24, but you know, when I do the 3Flow 9 or any of the stock stereo, it's all set up for a 2.5 screw. So looks really good. Really happy. I mean, this thing's gonna look pimping. I can't wait to show you the wheel entire combo that we're putting on this thing too, because I think it's gonna be pretty epic looking. Because this thing's, you know, it looks like that full comped out one, and I want to try to. I think this thing's gonna be a good performer too, you know, based on weight and everything else. So let's, man, look at that. RC Steve nailed those links too. Just perfect. Man, we are looking really, really good. You see how it comes up, and I mean, basically there's barely any room between these two arms. So that's the one thing too with the difference between like the Endura axle and the Mias axle. The Mias axle has a 2-position rise, so you could actually, and I like it. I think I like it better when the upper rear links are a little bit higher so far, but this works, and we got everything functioning, so I'm good there, you know. So like, I mean, there's not much room there, but you know, if you look, this does rotate. Well, I don't know if I can catch it on camera or not, or do it with my hands. So there we go. So you can see it does rotate, moves up and down. So we're not binding anywhere, so we're good. Love it. Super, super smooth. All right, let's get these electronics in. Bang! Bam! Most of the electronics are in. Excuse the mess. We are in the build phase. Figured I'd show you. I got the one side plate on since I got most of the electronics in. My fear when I did screw in, I don't know if you can see it, but it's cracked. Cracked right there. Cracked right there. And that was just them starting. So, and I had I filed these, got them all aligned to where the holes lined up, but it is what it is. I mean, there's not a lot of stress there, so, and they're not very tight at all. So we'll see how they last. Hopefully it lasts. But let's look at the electronics. It all fit in there nice. We got that micro Python, our mini radio link. We got our little Bluetooth floating. I did change the connector, so now we got the right connector on there. But it all fits in there super, super sanitary. So I was really happy. It is tight though. Now, one thing, if you can tell, I don't know if you can, but that connector for the ESC, I actually cut down the plastic so that this wires could sit. Now you can see I super trimmed this thing down. This thing's way long, right? Made it nice and short. Get rid of a lot of the wiring. So we're good there. And the reason I had to trim that down is if you run the electronics like this, and some people don't. So a lot of people run the other plate and they'll run their ESC back here, and then they stick their receiver up here on the actual transmission. I just didn't want to do that. Wanted to try something a little different. But when you put this roof plate on, let me see if I can do it. If I can actually hold it. So when you put the roof plate on, let's see if we can line it up. Come on, baby. Things are very, very tight there. So it's tight everywhere, but it all fits. So you trim that down. I trimmed that down just to give the wires a little bit more room to flex and stuff. I didn't want them pinched up against the roof line. I'll probably end up doing the same thing with the servo wire. So what's nice, the servo will come, is over on this side, so it'll come straight over this way and have most of it hidden behind the panel. So I may or may not do any wire loom. Probably won't do any wire loom on it. I'll probably shorten it and make it fit up in there really good. So we should have the battery on axle mount, I think tomorrow, fingers crossed tomorrow. And I can get the servo on, and then we can actually reveal what this thing is going to look like and what wheel choice we went with too. Because I think the wheels are going to make this thing look cool. It's a different setup, but I think it'll be cool. So I really like the look of it so far. I think it's super, super cool, super sleek. I dig the green. So let's go, let's pray that we get that BOA, and then we can get this thing done. Stay tuned. Booyah! Man, look at the Cardinal. It is done. We got the battery on axle mount, hooked up our steering and everything. So, you know, this is a printed piece, so you got to be a little careful, but fits perfect, does a great job, mounts the servo perfectly. So I did our 3-flow 9 steering in order to connect it. This is, so the Enduro diamond axles come with 2 different lengths, these upper tie rods. This is the longer version. I took out the upper O-ring on that side just to make sure everything is free. It's good. So I had a different set of wheels and tires on here first, and I had a set of rose gold Little Guy Racing Parts torque wheels with some claw hammers, and it looked cool. The wheels looked epic, and then Dash decided he wanted to steal them from me. So we put them on his comp frame kit. And I was like, you know, I think this thing needs some bigger wheel tire combo. So we went with, these are a set of Hard Park 1.3 wheels, titanium center, no beauty ring or anything, and used Little Guy Racing Parts gold hardware on it. And then these are the Enduro 1.3 Klingon tires. So I think it fits this thing really good. When you look at it, I feel like, man, it just looks perfect. So really fits the 18 scale stuff much better, I think. So really happy with this. And what I did, so the inner clamping ring is aluminum up front, and then we went with the printed plastic version in the back, because this thing's fairly heavy already. So I was like, you know, still keep the bias. And plus he was out of the brass heavier ones for the front, but I didn't think it really needed it. So really happy with this. Everything came out really clean. All the wirings, you know, good. Everything fit and finish. DBRC, man, they did good. So next up, we gotta go test this thing out on the rocks. Follow along right now. Oh man, we got our Cardinal out here. I love this thing. It looks so sweet. I like the hard park wheels and the 1.3s. Let's see how these Klingons do. I've tried them on our Manta Ray. I like them so far. And let's go. Set him down somewhere. I think I want to try similar lines to some of the other ones that I've been doing. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, Cardinal loves it. Oh yeah. Easy. See, kind of side hill. Wow, this thing. Oh, there it goes. See it going. See it going.
Yo, guys, ready?
Let's try that a little bit differently. All right, so. Oh yeah, there we go. See, I feel like it doesn't show it in the video how much of an incline it really is, but and how side hilled it is. It's pretty good. Let's bring this guy down, because I feel like I like this line over here too. Come on, baby. Wants to hook, but she doesn't. Come on. You have to take it a different way. Let's get over here. Oh, hang on. Sorry for that. Oh, there it goes. That's a tough one. Okay. I might have to add a little bit of, I still have the extra weights that I can put on the front, which I think I might do for this guy.
Well, hold on, you're just going nature.
Oh, there we go. Nice. Nice. Ah, I really like this Cardinal. Man, Davey, DBRC Chassis. Oh man, King Snake kills it. This thing kills it. I think I just need a little bit more weight up front. And I think what I'm gonna do is change the inner rings. I think I'm gonna go to a brass inner and move the aluminums to the rear. I think it's just not enough weight for this guy. He's up on 3 wheels, going down, looking good. Up on 3 wheels again. Oh! See if we can get him out of this hole. Or is he gonna flip over? Oh. So let's come over here. Oh yeah, look at all that clearance. Easy. I love that breakover on this thing. Yeah, this thing needs a little bit more weight up front, I can already tell. And I need to learn how to drive. I need to drive better one-handed. I need to learn how to drive better one-handed, honestly. Oh no! Okay. That was awesome. So look, man, this Cardinal chassis, I dig it. Needs more weight up front. I think it needs a little bit more weight in the rear wheels too to help it. And you never know. This thing is lighter too, so we might have to pull a spring or something. So we're definitely gonna try it out again. But comment, like, subscribe. We appreciate all the support. Give us any feedback you have. If you've got one of these, I'd love to hear your feedback. And remember the 10% discount codes at Little Guy Racing Parts. Man, this is where they crawl. This is where they test all their stuff too. So we'll catch you on the next one.